Femi Fani-Kayode denies Indigo 2023 presidential ticket. Femi Fani-Kayode is a skilled traitor, a master of his craft, but only uses the ignorant. Anyone who is surprised, shocked at the revelation about Femi Fani-Kayode by Dr. Bolaji Akinyemi probably have not been following socio-political events in the country for at least the past 20 years. Dr. Bolaji described Femi Fani-Kayode as Femi Fani-Kayode is fondly called as Judas Iscariot, Esau, here apparent of a traitor lineage which runs in their DNA just like his father betrayed Awolowo. A man who doesn't lack character but has no character, a mouth in service of his stomach, and so on. Judging from his antecedents, nothing best describes Femi Fani-Kayode more than service of his stomach. He works for his stomach. Since he lost out in the power game after Obasanjo's tenure, he has deployed his literary skill and eloquence to make money by attacking successful governments. Yar'Adua was not spared of Femi Fani-Kayode venom until his unfortunate death. God bless his soul. Femi so tormented Yar'Adua that he felt he will make it into Jonathan's inner caucus. If you like, kitchen cabinet or cabal through his boss OBJ. Still, he couldn't make it into that cabal for one thing. Character issues. Members of any cabal in any organization, private or public, maintain some form of honor, rightly or wrongly. They need people of character depending on the goal. Immediately Femi lost out, Jonathan became his new enemy. He tormented Jonathan for 3 years and a half. Femi Fani-Kayode went as far as threatening war on national TV, called Jonathan unprintable names. In the process, Femi Fani-Kayode decamped to a newly formed APC then. At that point, El-Rufai, Amechi, Oshimole were super good people because his next meal came from them. He took it out on Jonathan, calling on the ex-president to explain how $100 billion from oil was spent. He said horrible things. Obviously, he was positioning himself for nomination as the vice presidential candidate of anyone who emerged flag bearer of the APC presidential ticket. He played his game so well, but of course, much as he can generate nuisance value for a political party, he lacked character. On seeing that he was being outplayed, perhaps by the Tinubu group in the same party with him, he raised alarm and started drumming the dangers of Muslim ticket, which the public ordinarily did not pay attention to. He drummed it until the public bought into it and the party had to change strategy and considered Osibajo immediately. Sensing the danger of losing of money and power, he visited Jonathan in April 2014 to negotiate his return to PDP and how he can use his venom to push Jonathan's interests and campaign, and how the corruption case came in. Yar'Adua instituted against him will be quashed. Jonathan, desperate to return, swallowed it hook, line and sinker. He directly Nenedi Usman, the then Minister of State Finance, to release 866 million naira from taxpayers' money meant for arms procurement to Femi Fani-Kayode as a boycott clause from his then party APC, even though Femi Fani-Kayode disputes Nenadi's figure of 866 million naira. He admitted receiving 800 million naira. But what's the difference between 866 million and 800 million naira? After all, Nenadi must make something of an unaccountable fund. West Fani Kayode was still in the APC then. He rained insult on the Igbo race at every chance he had. The idea was to push them out of the scheme of things. He called them names and went to the extent of telling the world that he once slept with Bianca Ojukwu just to spit Igbo. Knowing that Ojukwu is regarded as the leader of Igbo, the rest, they say, is history. What is the most intriguing is how Femi Fani Kayode could use the minds of the most intelligent minds raised in Nigeria, Igbo. He simply started by distorting history of the Nigerian Civil War. He told how the North killed the Igbo's, etc. He never mentioned that his boss, Obasanjo, and T.Y. Danjuma played some of the fiercest role in that war against the Igbo's. He is so skilled at changing narratives that he made both men heroes of Igbo instead. In all, Femi Fani Kayode though wanted money from Buhari or appointment, but most importantly, his target by those who used to sponsor him was to scheme Igbos out of the 2023 race, knowing that if he succeeded in pushing them against others tribes, especially Yorubas and Northerners, then by 2023 if any party gave their tickets to Igbos and Yorubas present present another candidate from a different party, since the ticket might likely come to the south in 2023, then your guess is as good as mine in the outcome of that election. So Femi Fani-Kayode was prepared for the skill of 2023 dreams. And the longer a region stays without power, the more politically weakened it becomes. Femi Fani-Kayode understood that our people were extremely emotional and the shore played on our emotions. He couldn't use his own Yoruba race because they were as smart and even smarter than he was. They understood politics is about interest and not enmity. But somehow our people forgot Zeke's lesson that politics was about interest and nothing more, and that such interest could change along the way. We became hate mongers because Femi Fani Kayode, we openly called out, insulted any tribe who disagreed with us. Femi Fani Kayode used Indigo to achieve their 2023 aim. Then came Nnamdi Kanu, who had opportunity to change the tide, but his arrogance blew his chances. Somehow, he gained so much following in Igbo land but didn't know how to manage power and figures. He didn't know that every political dispute in the world was about power and nothing more. He became a god to himself rather than have an inner cabinet of foresighted minds who would strategize on how to use those numbers, mass fellowship, and turn it into power and negotiate better at the center. What was required was to float a new political bloc, run the required propaganda, and get everyone, Igbo son and daughter, into that party, direct them on candidates of the party to vote. Thank you for listening to this news. Wow, Femi Fani Kayode. Yes, all of this may be true anyway, but what I will say in this case is that there there is nothing to bother